have to share with you. Me and Stan just submitted our official marriage certificate. We're now officially married. From today onwards, I am now Stan's one and only bride. Isn't that great?
Oh, great. Well, congratulations, I guess.
But that's not the best part. Since today is officially going to be our anniversary, he even got a nice cake ready for us to eat. I mean, I would have been happy with just any old cake. Mainly because it's the thought that really counts. But Stan, he went and got a cake from a patisserie. It's such a nice high-end cake, I can barely contain myself. He said that he had a friend of his make the cake special for him. I mean, if he's willing to go that far just to make me happy, he must really love me, right?
Yeah, you might be right. I feel so good for you that you're able to feel loved by my ex-husband. Oh, that must be truly lovely, being able to eat a cake from some patisserie. Stealing your friend's husband must have really been worth it then, huh?
Oh, April, don't be like that. It's hard to really talk to you when you're so prickly like that. Your friend just got married to someone that they truly love. Don't you want to send at least a few words of genuine happiness? Don't you think that you're being a little rude with how you're responding with so much sarcasm?
Just because I'm not starting off with any insults or anything doesn't mean that I'm going to go along and give you some type of genuine congratulations. Who in their right mind would want to give any type of congratulations to someone like you? More than that, instead of talking about congratulations, I would like you to pay the money that you still owe me as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. But as you know, since I am married to Stan now, I'm going to be leaving all of the financial stuff to him now. So I don't know anything about what you're talking about. So if you want to talk about money, go ahead and talk to Stan.
You don't know? You're really going to go ahead with that kind of excuse? The money that you owe me, are you really going to have Stan pay for everything for you? Is that your plan?
Of course it is! I mean, Stan is the CEO of a company. Why would he be paying these things for me? I mean, for things like this, wouldn't it be better for the person that actually has the money to pay?
Really?
I don't nearly have as much money as Stan does. And not only that, but I've recently quit my long-standing job. Which is exactly why all the money that I do owe you, I am not going to be paying. Simply because I don't have the means to. So I'll be leaving all of that to Stan. Meanwhile, I'll be doing the only thing that I can do. I'll be providing a beautiful, loving smile and a comfortable home for him to always come back and relax after a long day at work. But when he's not home, I'll be living the high life in our new mansion.
Sorry, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Mansion?
Oh, intrigued by the mansion talk? I'm so glad you asked. It seems that Stan had more than just a cake ready for us on our first anniversary. He actually got us ready to live in a nice, beautiful mansion starting from today. Which is why I'm riding in his luxury car going to visit the new luxury mansion, where we're going to be living.
Really?
Him being this caring and loving, I don't think I can really handle it all. I mean, isn't it just amazing? A new husband getting a cake and the whole mansion ready for their new bride? It's just so amazing. I'm basically a princess. Not only that, but he is completely focused on me. I can't help but think that I hit the jackpot and I'll be living the high life from now on. So I really must thank you, April. If you didn't get thrown away by Stan, none of this could have happened. It's like a dream, being able to live with a CEO in a giant mansion. I can't believe it.
I'm not really sure what you're going on about, but I'm the CEO.
What?
I'm sorry for doing this when you're pretty much on cloud 9, but I think I should really tell you this before you get too carried away by the cake. This might actually be a harsh reality check, but listening to you going on about all of this, I really can't follow along.
Reality check? What do you mean by that? Stan is the CEO, right? What about a reality check is there to talk about? Every day he works hard as the CEO of a company that deals with other companies as an intermediary. What needs to be reality checked?
Well, first, the company that you're talking about is actually mine, which would mean that I'm the CEO, not Stan. After the divorce, I had outed him from the company, and currently I'm fairly sure that he's jobless.
What? What are you talking about, your company? That doesn't even make any sense. Not just that, but you're saying that you outed him from the company? You're saying that he isn't even part of that company anymore.
Well, I guess if you want to be technical about it, you could say that he is the former CEO. We kind of had a dual CEO type of setup at the company, and that was how we kind of kept pitching it.
Dual CEO type of setup? What are you talking about?
I mean, there are many different roles and things that you can be at a company. Having a dual CEO concept just gave him the power that a normal CEO usually has. I mean, I had originally brought up the company from scratch, but since he had offered to help at a time when there weren't many people around that would, I made him the co-CEO of the company. He even went as far as quitting his own company to help out with the company, so it was the least that I could do, really.
That's what happened?
But then he went and started cheating with you, which ultimately led to our divorce. Then why in the world would I want to continue working with a man who had cheated on me? So I had him thrown out of the company. Though I never hoped that it would happen like this, I did take extra precaution when making him the co-CEO by keeping the company and all the paperwork in my name. Which meant that when he was caught with you, I had no trouble getting him to leave the company. Honestly, it was surprisingly smooth.
Wait just a minute. I never heard about any of this from Stan. Stan was always saying that he was managing the company. He was even saying that it was his company.
Well, he wasn't exactly wrong. He was technically the CEO, even if you failed to mention it being a shared position. But I guess if he wanted to be more accurate, he could have said that he was the managerial CEO at his wife's company. But I guess that doesn't really roll off the tongue like I'm the CEO does. Either way, right now, since I had him removed from the company, he is simply a jobless cheater. Great catch you got there.
Wait, then what about the mansion that he was telling me so much about? He said that we were going to be living in the mansion together. What's going to happen with that? If he doesn't have a job, then there is no way that he'll be able to pay for something like that, right? But also, the money that I owe you, what about that? I mean, Stan is going to actually pay you, right? He'll be able to do that for me, right?
How in the world do you expect me to know that information? You're still in the car with him, correct? Why don't you ask him? He should be sitting right next to you.
I'm too scared. I can't ask something like that.
Oh, and by the way, when me and Stan were together, we were living in a fairly average-sized place. Nothing special about it. We couldn't really afford to live in some lavish mansion in the city.
Huh? Really? I thought that you were living in some nice mansion as well. But you're saying that you were living in a normal place?
I mean, if the company was an international corporation, then that might be more fitting. But the company is still pretty localized. It's not like we were broke, but definitely not enough to live in complete luxury. So what's got me curious is how he was expecting to buy you some lavish mansion. Especially since even when he did have a job, he couldn't live in one.
What's going on here? I'm actually getting scared. Where is he taking me? What's going to happen to me? There is actually going to be a mansion where we're going, right? He even said that there would be this cake there waiting. He didn't just lie about all of this, did he? He promised that I would be living the high life from now on, that we'd be living in a life of luxury.
Oh, you must be so excited. I bet you can barely contain yourself. Right. Well, enjoy your new married life. Hope that it's not too full of surprises. Why did you have to go and tell Rachel that I don't have a job anymore? It's because of that she went ballistic and screamed to be let out of the car. It was a hassle just to get her back into the car. I mean, hiding things like that from your marriage partner is much worse than telling her about it, right? So, where is it that you were taking her? She seems to have the idea that you were taking her to some huge mansion. No matter how you think about it, there is no possible way for you to get something like that ready now, is there? My parents' house. I finally was able to get her to calm down and just got here. Wait, what? Your parents' house? I mean, it's not like I was lying, right? That house has been passed through my family for generations. The house itself is even said to be the biggest house in town. Nothing about what I said was a lie. I mean, even if you weren't technically lying, that's still completely different from what you were selling her. Who goes around saying that they're going to take their fiancé to live in a fancy large mansion, then fail to mention that it is actually their parents' house? I actually feel a little bad for her. I can't imagine what it would feel like to be told that you're going to be spending your newly married life with your in-laws. I mean, even if we're going to be living together, it's only temporary. There are a ton of things that I have to get back on track. This is only until all of that is over. Good to hear. How did Rachel take that excuse? I mean, just a little bit ago, she thought you were the CEO of a company, but then found out that you're actually jobless. Not only that, but her new husband's promised fancy mansion is actually just his parents' house. The only thing that I can picture is her completely fuming. About that. You'll be pleased to know that her reaction is nothing like you'd expect. In fact, Rachel is completely thrilled with the idea. Seriously? She's thrilled? At first, she was going on about being fooled or me lying to her, but once I explained the situation, she did a complete 180 and fell in love with the idea. She saw the house and realized that she would one day be inheriting the mansion and all that was inside, which completely changed her mind. She started to let out the cutest smile that you could imagine. Not only that, but after I explained about my next job, she was even more excited than before. Oh, so you already found another job then? I didn't know about that. Yeah. Right after leaving the company, I had a call from one of my old friends. He said that he'd pay me as much as an executive, as long as I go and work with him. Needless to say, I immediately took the offer. Wow, so you're going to be getting a director's salary. Isn't that just amazing? So that means that all the money that you owe me from the divorce is going to be easily paid for, right? Seriously, how long are you going to make me wait for you to pay me? Oh, April, don't be so hasty now. Once I get the director's position, I'll pay you back right away. In fact, I'll even double the money that I owe you, just for good measure. Well, aren't you just a generous ex-husband? Well, I guess that just is the blessing of getting a director's salary. You have the freedom to be a little generous. Next month, I'll be going through the various procedures and officially become the company's director. Once I'm director, I'll be bringing the company international and start making tons of money. After that, I'll move out of my parents' house with Rachel. With all the money that I'll be making, I'll get a whole new mansion built especially for her. She must be completely thrilled then, you having all those big promises that you're giving her. Once the new house is finished, I'll even invite you to the housewarming party. I'll make sure to show even you what it's like to see someone who is going up in the world.
April, listen to this! Yesterday, apparently the place that I was being taken to was actually Stan's parents' house.
I already heard all about that from Stan. I thought you were going to rip him a new one, but it seems that you're actually really happy about it.
I mean, of course, at first I was completely caught off guard. But once I saw the property and all the things inside it, I realized that one day it would all be mine. So I thought I'd forgive him for the little deceit that he did. I never realized that Stan had such a big inheritance lined up for him. The best part is that there were tons of extremely expensive artworks and things scattered throughout the whole house. If we're living with them for the time being, then I'll have all the time in the world to have a little price check on everything.
Price check? Really? Honestly, you're something else if the first thing that you think about when visiting your in-laws' place is to see how expensive everything is.
Please, April, contain your jealousy. It's really not a good look for you. No matter how bitter you may feel for not being able to inherit all this stuff, it's quite rude to talk about others like that.
Wow, really? You're calling me bitter?
Too bad, huh? Not only the husband that you loved, but also all the inheritance that you would have gotten. Seriously, who cares if you're the CEO of some middle-of-the-road company that no one has even heard of? Compared to the mansion and all the things that I'm going to get in the future, your company is nothing more than some garbage left on the side of the road.
You're really going to call the company that I built from the ground up trash that you'd find on the side of the road?
Oh, please, don't get so full of yourself. Just because you were able to make a small company. No matter how you look at it, between the two of us, I'm the one who is truly winning at life here. Not only is my husband going to be the director at a company, but I have all of this inheritance to look forward to.
I hate to break it to you, but all that inheritance that you're talking about is actually going to be mine.
Wait, what?
The more I just let you go on, the more you start spouting off. It's not me who's getting full of themselves. I told you yesterday that you should really start facing reality, right? But instead of listening to me, you just fill yourself with hot air like an idiot. Honestly, maybe some of the cake that you ate yesterday somehow got stuck in your brain.
Please stop suddenly talking about strange things that don't make any sense.
Strange things? What are you talking about? Ever since the beginning, I've said nothing but the truth.
I mean, what you're talking about makes no sense at all. Why would my husband's inheritance all be given over to you? In what world would that make even the least amount of sense? You're only his ex-wife. Ex! You're basically a stranger to him now. So why would you be given any of the inheritance?
Well, because that's what I've been promised.
Promised? What do you mean?
You're at the house, right? So that means that Stan's parents are close by as well, right?
His parents? Well, Stan and them are talking in the living room. They said that they have an important topic that they have to discuss or something like that.
If that's the case, then you should really get in there and talk with them as well. If they're talking to him about what I think they are, then Stan is probably being given a lot of important news about the situation as we speak. The situation being that I already am the owner of the deed to the house and the land that it's on.
What? You own the deed to the house? You can't be serious.
How about you get the details from your new in-laws? I'm sure they have plenty of things that they need to tell you to. Since I'm actually pretty busy here at work today, I'll leave it to them to fill you in. April, what's going on here? I'm completely confused by this. Do you own the deed to my parents' house and their land? What are they talking about? I'm not going to accept this. This is completely against what's supposed to be happening. Well, it doesn't really matter if you accept it or not. I already have the paperwork and the legal standing of deed owner. As you should have heard from your parents, this is exactly what we have discussed and chosen to do. In fact, they pretty much begged me to use their house as collateral for everything, which is exactly the situation that they are in now. I mean, I heard about this from them, but I can't believe that this is actually happening. I mean, they started by saying that they lost tons of money in the housing market. They didn't tell me about this at all. Why wouldn't they inform me about them being in debt or losing so much money like that? Not only did they not tell me that they were putting themselves in debt, but the person that they became indebted to was you? Really? Why wouldn't they even choose to discuss this with me? I'm their son. I mean, it could be precisely because you're their son. In fact, they even told me to keep all this a secret from you. Probably due to their pride of being your parents. They didn't want to borrow money from you, nor make you worry about their financial troubles. They would do something like that? I say that, but I really can't understand the reasoning of instead of asking their son's wife for the money. As for me, since they were your parents, I couldn't really refuse. Then, when they put their house up for collateral, I really couldn't refuse. For goodness sake, with things turning out like this, I can't do anything about it. If I pay you back the money that they owe you, you'll give back the deed to the house and all that, right? I mean, that's obvious. Of course I will. After all, it's just collateral. Also, since we just got divorced and there are quite a few things that you have to think about, I'm not going to be so cruel as to force you to pay back everything at once. I'll stick to the original plan. As long as you pay the monthly payments, with interest, there won't be any problems. Really? You'll do that? But the real question is, do you think that you can really make sure to pay me back without having to ask for any extensions? Extensions? What are you talking about? Oh, you haven't heard from your parents? They're already behind on their payments and have been asking me to wait for the payments. They've been asking for extensions since just before we got divorced. I think the excuse that they gave me was that the apartment that they tried to flip has had 0 buyers and they've been sitting on that debt the whole time, which is why they started a conversation as fast as they could to have me delay their payments. Of course, with everything that happened, I replied with a firm no. What? Are you serious? I never heard anything like that. They were saying that the property that they have was doing well, and the money that they were behind was going to come back right away. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. Who knows? Maybe there was a sudden influx of buyers recently that I didn't know about. Honestly, I don't really care either way, as long as the payments start coming in on time. Wait just a minute, April. When I was asking them to tell me what properties they purchased, they just started responding with, "Everything is going to be all right." They just did whatever they could to avoid telling me what they bought and kept me completely out of it. I mean, that just spells all types of bad, doesn't it? I'm going to check with them right now.
April! Please help me! What am I going to do? I just got done talking with Stan, and he said that we're going to be living with his parents forever!
Really? Last I remember, it was supposed to be only temporary.
He said that because of the situation that they are in, there is no room for us to leave them. I heard all about their failings in the housing market. But when Stan had gone to them to check on all their finances and see how bad it really was, he said that they were already in the deep red. They put so much money into flipping some of these properties, yet there are almost no buyers. Stan is talking about doing everything he can to restore their finances. But that means that from now on, we're going to have to live with them.
Oh my! Now that does sound pretty stressful. But if you think about it that way, then you're not going to be living with them forever. Just until they recover their losses, right? As Stan's new wife, that would mean that it's your job to help Stan stay cool and to be his support. I mean, he may be alright on the outside, but I can only imagine that he's panicking like mad on the inside.
More than Stan! I'm the one who's truly panicking. If we're not able to make the payments, that means that the house and the land, everything is going to be going to you, right? I just can't imagine all of my inheritance being stolen by you.
I mean, it's just the responsibility of the person who borrowed the money to pay it back, right? Could you stop making it look like I'm stealing or doing something unfair here?
What?
But hey, why are you sounding so glum? Even if his parents weren't able to do any of the payments, and they are in the red right now, the person that they are leaving all the finances in the care of, their golden child Stan, is there, right? He's saying that he's going to be the director of his friend's company or something like that, and that he's going to be steadily raking in the cash. With the amount of income that he's thinking he'll make, he'll be able to surely get your parents out of debt before you even know it. Oh, but before getting your in-laws out of their debt, I'd really like you to get yourselves out of debt with me first.
Director? That was all a load of crap! All that talk from the friend just went up in smoke. Now we're back to square one, where Stan is out of a job.
Whoa, really? So what happened?
That friend of Stan's completely betrayed him. Even though he was the one that invited Stan to work at the company as the director, after all this time pulling him along, he refused to make right of his promise. He said something like he only offered Stan the job because he thought he had experience building up a company. But when he found out that you built the company and that he was just a co-CEO, he quickly took away the offer.
Oh, now that's just too bad, isn't it?
I can't believe this was all taken out of the palm of our hands. I was completely counting on that director's pay to bring us out of this mess.
Oh, that does sound troublesome, huh? I mean, just to recap, Stan's parents are completely in debt with me, and their lovely home is now set to be mine because they can't make any payments. Your new husband, who was previously jobless because he divorced his boss, is now jobless again because his real credentials are coming to light. Oh, and don't forget the money that I've been constantly asking you to pay me back. That's still there. I mean, wow. It really does seem like a pretty much helpless situation for you guys.
Exactly! We're completely helpless right now. We need the money, and quickly. Not only that, but all the things that I've been expecting to get in the inheritance, they're thinking about just selling it all. All the inheritance that I've been looking forward to is quickly turning into dust in the wind. The worst part is all the money that they're getting from selling the paintings, they're going to put that money into their housing market scheme. I'm not going to even get a dime from all of the things that they're selling.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that Stan and his parents are still going to be putting money into their failing housing ventures?
That's exactly what I'm saying. They're talking about how they'll definitely find a place that can make them some profit. They're spending more and more money with various realtors buying more and more properties.
Well, that's a little surprising. But how about the results? Is there some potential in what they are buying? Are they at least getting close to their goal of getting out of the red?
Not even close! They're just racking up more and more debt. They're buying properties and talking about fixing them all up, spending money left and right. Even I know that what they are doing is just going to end up in failure.
Well, making an assumption like that is just mean, don't you think? I mean, Stan and his parents are working on this as a team, right? They are doing their best to make right of a sticky situation.
No more! Please, April! I'm begging you! I want to get away from this house as fast as I can. Can you come pick me up? Help me get out of this mess!
Really? You're going to try and run away all on your own? That's just unacceptable. You're Stan's wife, after all. You said it yourself, that you're going to be the one that constantly cheers on your hardworking husband, right? Something about using your beautiful smile to give him a break from his long day at work.
How could anyone make even a semblance of a smile in this situation? Please, April! Save me! If I stay here, I'll be stuck in this debt hell for the rest of my life!
Well, I guess that's just karma for you. Instead of being someone who thinks of themselves as simply a trophy wife, maybe you should start helping them. Anyway, I'm kinda tired of this conversation, so I'll leave it at that. Don't forget to start with the payments for the house, as well as the debt that you owe me. Later! Stan and his parents are continuously racking up more and more debt with their housing adventures. However, as for the money that they owe me, they've been surprisingly on time with the payments for the house. However, the other debts that Stan and Rachel have with me have been fairly slow. When Rachel finally did pay me back the money that she owed me, it didn't take long before she started begging me for the money back. She went with the reasoning that her new family is completely ruining her life and that she needs the money to properly get out of that mess. Just with the few interactions that I've been having with them, I can tell that the daily life in that house is pretty stressful. Other than the required interactions that I have to do with them as a lender, I pretty much just ignore them completely. Honestly, ignoring them has been one of the smartest things that I've done, as I've become much less stressed having to deal with Stan and all of them. Rumors coming around, however, have been saying that Stan and all of them are basically fed up with paying for the house payments. They're already preparing themselves to lose the house, and to eventually move into a much smaller place as a family of 4. I also heard that Rachel has been basically crying nonstop for being in a completely different situation than she originally imagined. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.